Hello, I'm Conrad Garcia. I'd like to welcome you to another devlog for Ouromancer. In this video, I'll be showing you the tile map generation, how the whole world gets built on the click of a button. The tile map settings control all of the parameters for generating the world, and the day-night cycle section controls, as it sounds, the day-night cycle. So I'll click play, and the world is instantly popping in somewhat. This is going to be covered by a loading screen, so the player won't actually be seeing the popping in, but they'll just be able to run around the world and explore to their heart's content, and obviously find some enemies. To give you a clearer idea, here's an overlook at the world generation from above. You can see how the rings slowly pop in, and you can even see the different tree types which define each ring in the world. So to show you how the tiles actually interlock, I'm just moving a few up, showing that every single bit of the ground is not just a single contiguous piece of geometry. It's tiles, diorama set pieces as it is. So if I generate the world again, you'll see that this time it's somewhat different looking. There are common layout rules, but the generation and placement of a lot of elements, visually speaking, are always going to be different. So now that I've shown you how it works, let me talk about the main areas to control how to generate the levels. I'm going to set these all to a very simple one value, so you can see the rings being created aren't really expanding as far as they were. So this time I'll actually crank up the number of player tiles, which is the intersection where the player actually starts. This is actually a difficulty control as well, because the smaller the area the player has to build in, the less they have to work with to defend their own base. So the first levels will be quite large, but then subsequent levels will get smaller and smaller, making it more of a challenge for the player to build their defenses up. This next section may look a lot like the number of player tile rings, but it's safe rings. And this is, although similar looking, a buffer zone between the actual game world and the player's battle area. So these are specific tiles that can be changed visually, but right now for the forest, I'm just keeping them the same as the rest of the ground. The larger part of the world, the actual wilderness that you go into that has enemies and whatnot, is called the world tile rings. And there's actually 3 sub-rings to this. So this number is quite volatile. It's times by 3 really. So if I put 8 in, it's actually 24 rings that I'm going to be creating of hexagon tiles. So if I zoom out here, you can see that when they get generated, there's going to be the first ring, second ring, and then the final ring before the outer bounds is generated. So you can see the first ring of trees, the second ring of trees, and then the final ring of trees behind that. And after that is essentially the no boundary zone, which is why they have these weird little floating hexagon tiles. That's all the time for this video. Stay tuned for the next video where I go over some VFX work and the main interface that the Ouromancer casts spells with.